Oh, I should make a move, but I can't be arsed. That's where I'm at. Just like that. I'm up. It's not a glamorous spot today, but sometimes they're not. It's all good.
It's a bit windy, as you can tell, flapping around a bit. I hope it don't blow over, like it sometimes does. I've run the cable, there's like an extension part there, look, can you see? Run the cable into the EcoFlow, which normally lives in that corner there. And yeah, it's bringing in, oh gosh, let me climb out. What's this? It's bringing in 154 watts. So at that rate, this will charge up fully from this in 3 hours. Then I'm going to charge up the Blue Yeti, which is a much smaller one, straight away.
There were worse places to be working. I'm back at Puggin's Country Park, as you can tell, and whilst it's overcast, the panels are still drawing 50-60 watts. Would you believe it? In this, it's mad, isn't it? I'm really pleased with that.
You can tell it's getting to that time of year as well. We've got the bugs out in force. I don't know what those things are. They're not mozzies, I don't think, but they're certainly something that like the van. We're all over the van, in fact. But anyway, yesterday's swimming towel is out to dry. Just got this little bit to dry here, and yesterday's swimming shorts are out to dry as well, so that's all good. And I grabbed a can of my favourite zesty beverage from the freezer box of the fridge, and it's frozen. Oh lordy. So the EcoFlow's on charge. It was at about, I think it's just below 80 when I plugged it in this morning. It's on 91 now. Even in this really dull grey light, it's charging up, which is nice. And unfortunately, my laptop was plain flat when it came to work this morning. I must have not switched it off properly when I put it away on Friday, which is really annoying. So I've had to run the engine, unfortunately, to charge the laptop up through the Blue Yeti, which is really annoying. But, you know, that's a mistake that I've made, so, you know. So I'll probably have to run the engine again a little bit later, because I want to keep the EcoFlow charging up and dedicate that 53 watts or whatever is coming in now to the EcoFlow and get up to 100%, and then I can charge up the Blue Yeti. But it's going to take probably the rest of the day to get the EcoFlow to full charge, probably in this cloud cover. Understandable, I guess. Anyway, let's get back to it, guys. Well, the day is done. I've got a coffee in my to-go cup. I'm waiting for the kettle to cool down so I can close down the glass lid. I don't want that to happen again. When it was that's why I only have one glass lid, by the way. Okay, that one, because this one did not survive. Okay, what happened was I was parked outside my children's house, and they live on a slope. They don't like me calling it a hill. They will argue it's black and blue, it's not a hill. But when one end of the road is higher than the other end of the road, it's a hill. As far as I'm concerned. But anyway, I was making a coffee there. I lifted this one up, left this one down, and because I was on a hill, I was on a slope, the kettle slid down. What an idiot. The kettle slid down the hill, and the kettle then touched the glass here, and then I heard this loud bang, and it's literally exploded. The glass here exploded into like a million fragments, and that was about a year and a half ago now. So I do need to order a new piece of glass. I do want one, although I was coached without one for the past year or so. But yeah, that was quite amusing. Oh my god, have you seen this? So I moved up front. I parked here, I've been here all day, and the car park's 99% empty, as you'll see when I pull out. And I've got a car right up my arse, okay, parked kind of parallel like a T-bone, and one right up the front now, and same. So they know I'm here. It's not like they can't see me and that they've deliberately blocked me in, because it's just thoughtless, like that. So I now have to do like a 5,000 point manoeuvre to move my car. All right, and it's not like there isn't loads of spaces, because there is. And now I've got kids running in front of me just as I'm about to pull out. are standing right in the way, knowing full well they're in the way. God almighty. Honestly, give them a blooming parenting medal, why don't you? Unbelievable, some people, aren't they? Thick as anything. They've got people lighting barbecues all over the place, knowing full well they're not allowed to have naked flames in the park, and not really giving a stuff. And they complain about van lifers. Do you know what I mean? They complain about us all the time, and they will leave their barbecues out all over the place. And who's the people that get the blame? Van lifers. It's just bakes my bones. Seriously bakes my bones. On the lighter side, I love the graphics on that camper. They're ace. The red and the blue on that crafter. Nice. Right then, so people often ask me about how I cook in the camper van. Let's just take a look at this. Okay, so what am I going to have today? I am going to have some carrots, some taties, and some pork. So, in short, meat and 2 veg. Okay, I am going to use, of course, this is quite a nice little pan. It was sent to me by Bluetti as a raffle prize, and I'm going to use my Ridge Monkey, okay, which is quite a useful pan to use. So my meat's going to go in there, veggies are in, Ridge Monkey's preheating, okay, and I'll get the meat in there first. I'll give it a quick squirt of this this stuff here. Okay, so this is a lot easier, it's a lot cleaner, less messy than buying a bottle of oil that you just pour a drop in. Do you know what I mean? Because then you've got to carry that big bottle of oil around, and well, spillages happen and it's really difficult to clean up. Right, so that's the meat in. Gonna close that down. Put that up like so. I've got a pan for that. And yeah, kind of a bit of a waiting game now, but it won't take very long, to be quite honest. Also, in other news, because I went to Asda and that's where I got my pork chops from, bought myself some headphones. These are JVC headphones, so you know they're not necessarily the absolute best, but they're far from the worst. And they were reduced from 36 quid, I think it was, to £12.88. Massive bargain. Since I've lost my in-ear bugs, I figured they would be a good replacement at that price. You know, I do want some noise reducing earbuds like the iPod Pros, but I can't afford them just yet. I will get some, but not just yet. So they're going to be really good for until I do get some. Anyway guys, I'll bring you back when this is cooked, because I need to keep an eye on it now. Other things to mention, as soon as you put them on, make sure you got this handy somewhere. Okay, really important. And here we go. Pork, carrots, taties, salt and pepper, bit of butter, get it in my tummy. And just 2 pans to wash up at the end as well. I'll do that after I've eaten. Right, tea's all done. I'm just trying out these new headphones. They're supposed to have a microphone in, so I don't know if you can be picking that up at all. I'll take them off now, just in case. So I didn't buy headphones for YouTube purpose. As you know, I do have autism, and sometimes sensory overload is a bit of an issue. And I usually wear these little earbuds that go in. But I also have a genetic condition called 15q11.2 deletion. It's sometimes called Burnside-Butler syndrome, and with that comes some set of deformities, and among them are the ear canals. And I've got one ear canal that's wider than the other, and it's when I put the earbuds in, very often one will stay in all the time, perfect fits, brilliant. The other one will just keep falling out all the time. But I have to fiddle about with the rubber cups to find one that fits okay. But then when I'm hot and I'm bothered, then my ears will kind of open up a bit more. So then the rubber cuff I've got on there then just doesn't fit. Then 20 minutes later, when the temperature cools down, the ear canal will close up again. And then the rubber cuff... Do you know what I mean? So it's a bit of a pain in the derriere. And Not only that, I put them down somewhere, I can't find them anyway. So I don't know if I've already mentioned in this video, but I was in Asda. I was buying the pork chops that I had for tea, which, they were lovely. Anyway, and these were near the till, and they were reduced from 33 quid to £12. So I thought, do you know what? For 12 quid, blimey, I'll buy a pair of them at 12 quid, like. And the quality seems okay. The sound quality seems okay. They seem very flimsy, quite cheaply made, which is quite surprising for JVC, to be fair. But at that price, you can't really complain too much, can you? Do you know what I mean? Anyway, where we're at, yeah, tea was lovely. It made such a nice change because I've been having far too many takeaways just recently, and getting on my wick, and I do need to lose a little bit of weight. Although I'm not sure that tea was particularly healthy for weight loss, to be fair, but it is what it is. Great day at work today. Really nice chat with my son on FaceTime. Really enjoyed that. New headphones, good tea. It's a great day. We're in a good park up, pub stop over behind the Hungry Horse, next to the canal. There's 2 or 3 of the van lifers down here as well, which is always really nice to have that company. Always looking out for each other and that sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? So I'm a happy bunny tonight. Really, really happy. Tomorrow, although stuff's starting to mount up again down here, all the clutter's starting to mount up again. I had cleaned it all out and it's back. You only have to put 2 or 3 things down and it's back again, innit? Do you know what I mean? That's the hazard. So I'll sort that out in a bit when I can be bothered. So I got my solar panel out today and I got a full charge on my EcoFlow, which was nice because it was a little bit overcast. It took quite a lot of the day to do that, but that's fine because I was just sat static working anyway. Do you know what I mean? So it's no bother. And then I plugged it into the Bluetti, but by the time I plugged it into Bluetti, there wasn't a right lot of sun left to be had. So tomorrow when I put it out again, it'll be to focus on the Bluetti, charged up to 100% as well. So I'm really enjoying the solar panel. I think what has it led me to, it's led me to the conclusion that I really want to fix one on the roof. That portable one is brilliant. It does a fantastic job. I can't fault it one little bit. But when it comes to winter and it's snowing and it's hailing and it's windy and it's raining, but you can still get a tiny glimmer of solar, do you know what I mean? Even if it's only 10 or 12 watts or whatnot through the occasional clouds during winter, then that 10 or 12 watts can make a bit of difference in charging things up. Does that make sense? So I'm definitely going to make a more concerted effort to try and get a fixed solar panel to the roof. I just don't want to pay the prices that Bluefix are asking and all the rest of it. But I do want it done professionally because I don't know what I'm doing. I want it organised and arranged so that I can switch it from charging the leisure battery to charging my EcoFlow and Bluetti. All right, so I want that option to be able to do either, if that makes sense. I'm not going to open it, but that is where all my electrics are. It's not just in there because that's my wardrobe. All my clothes are in there. All my knickknacks are in there. All my shoes are in there. Coats are in there. That is packed from floor to ceiling with stuff. Do you know what I mean? Now, the leisure battery's already in there, but don't panic. It's in a separate leisure. So it's in a box, a battery box and everything. So there's nothing rest on the terminals or, anything like that. There's no risk of setting anything on fire or anything like that. So we're all good. I've also put like a bit of a platform across the top, so nothing can go down and block the air vents that are in the battery box for the battery, if that makes sense. So it's in a void of its own. So from there up is where all my clothes are. Every piece of clothing that I own, well, more or less. And then just here in this part here is like the fuse box and everything, and all that kind of business. And I have no idea what I'm doing. But what I do know is there's nowhere to squeeze into that tiny little space a inverter, to operate the plug sockets from the leisure battery, etc. And also, you would need to upgrade the leisure battery, really, to do that. And I really do not have space down there to put a bigger leisure battery in. You just don't. So as long as I can keep that leisure battery topped up from running too low on the voltage, which is what's knackered this battery, do you know what I mean? Then that would be a good thing, because obviously I need to replace that battery because it's only holding 10.6 volts. And everybody out there will be going, "Ooh, that's knackered." Yeah, I know. But it's keeping the lights on still. You know, it's holding 10.6 volts. It's keeping the lights on. It's keeping the fridge running. 12-volt compressor fridge. And that's all I... Oh, and the water tap as well. And that's all I use it for. That's it. It doesn't get used for anything else. So, yeah, I know it's at 10.6 volts. I know these lights could be a lot brighter. I know the fridge could run a lot more effectively and efficiently. I get that. But as long as it is running, I'm going to stretch it out for as long as I can, because I'm a tight-arse Yorkshireman. Do you know what I mean? And then I'll put a new one in, or get one fitted or whatever. I'd love to go to lithium, but can't afford them prices. Because apparently it's not a case of... And you can leave a comment down below, actually, if you actually know. But as far as I'm aware, you can't just take out the lead acid or AMCGM, whatever it is, out of there, and then drop a lithium in and expect everything to work. I don't think it works like that, does it? I think you've got to... There's bits of wiring you've got to change for thicker cables. I don't know. I'm thinking. I've no idea. And that's my problem, you see. I've no idea. And then you've got to change the DC to DC charge. Oh, that sort of business. To make it lithium compatible and all that kind of stuff. A lithium battery is a lot bigger as well. I've already said I don't have a lot of space down there for the battery. So, yeah, there's all sorts of problems there. And because I don't know what I'm doing, I put in a quote, and they wanted, I think it was Bluefix or something. I'm not knocking Bluefix, because obviously very professional. It's obviously it's very safe to take them there. They've got a good reputation, so I'm not having a go. I'm not putting them down, nothing like that. But when I put in for a quote and I said, look, I just want a lithium battery fitting, the quote was just ridiculous. It was like 1,500 quid to fit a lithium battery. I'm thinking, oh, really? Surely not. So, yeah, it put me off a lot, because they were advertising on their website a whole kit that they would fit and supply for like 1,500 quid, and that included a solar panel. So why would it be 1,500 quid, the same price, just for a leisure battery? It doesn't make any sense. It makes no sense to me at all. So it kind of put me off. And it kind of made me think, well, the price they're advertising then on their website for the whole kit to be supplied and fitted at like 1,500 quid, that's just hokum. Absolute hokum. It can't be true if they want me 1,500 quid from me just to put a battery in. Doesn't make any sense, does it? And when I approached them about having a solar panel, an inverter, a leisure battery, it's nearly £5,000. £5,000, really? So no. I decided not to. I haven't been to any other companies yet to see, what their prices are in comparison. I would suspect they're a lot cheaper. I think Bluetti's got so big now, so popular that or not Bluetti. Did I say Bluetti? I meant Bluefix. Sorry if I've said Bluetti. I meant Bluefix. So I think Bluefix have gotten so big now because of their internet fame and YouTube fame, which arguably is well deserved. To be quite frank, it's but that I think they've gotten so big that they can just charge what they want. So yeah, I mean, fair play to them. If people are going to pay it, fair play to them. I'm not going to put them down or have a go at them or anything about that, because they're in business for a profit, aren't they, at the end of the day? But yeah, but it's just too rich for my wallet, I'm afraid. Too rich for me. So I'm gonna have to see if I can find somewhere else. So if you know anywhere else, let me know down below, and I'll do some googling up research. I'm not ready for it yet. I'm not financially ready for it yet, but it will. I know what I'm working towards. Do you know what I mean? Right, guys, well, thank you for coming along on this one. I'm going to get this one edited now. I'm trying to put out more frequent videos, more targeted on specific areas and subjects. So what would this one be called? I don't know, really. It's just... I don't know what title this one be, because it's a bit there, it's a bit here, it's a bit everywhere, isn't it? It's here, there, and everywhere. Maybe that would be the title. Oh, God. But yeah, it's just documenting my life and what I've been through, and I've had a really nice day, and I wanted to share that and all that kind of business.